Hello, my name is Erica Roebuck and I write historical fiction. My post today is going to be to empower you, but mostly it's going to be a bit of a pity party. So if you've ever joined a pity party, someone else's or your own, you know sometimes it's not fun, but you need to acknowledge the feelings so that you can move on. So in this pity party, let me give you a little bit of background. First of all, I have a cold. I almost didn't film today because I thought, oh, I have a cold, but I thought, no, it goes with the pity party. Second, this last year and a half or year or so has been difficult for me for personal and professional reasons. And so everything seemed to sort of go wrong at once in different areas. On the personal side, I lost my mom. And I'll tell you, that is horrible. It takes a long time to get through that. On the professional side, a large publisher merged with another large publisher, absorbing imprints. My editor no longer is employed with the new publishing situation. And so basically, I am starting over. And naively, about a year ago, I thought, oh, well, that's okay. I've got 4 books out. I have a self-published novel. I'm involved in short stories, and it'll be fine. We'll just find another editor, and on we'll go. It hasn't been so simple. So with the pity party, let me also tell you that I just recently got in the mail this. Now, this is a letter that addresses the issue of remainders. And if you're involved in publishing, I didn't know this until today, but a remainder means that the publisher will no longer stock the hardcover books or whatever books you're using, and they will offer them to the author at a discounted price, or they're going to ship them out for bargain tables across the land at your favorite booksellers. I have bought books in delight from many a bargain table and thought, oh my gosh, why is this author's book so vastly discounted? And now I know it's because they don't want to store those hardcovers anymore. So while it's a bit of a cut, it can also expose people to your work at a bargain price. It can be positive, but let's face it, it's a blow because it didn't sell at the first release price. All right. The next thing, and perhaps the most frustrating thing for me, is this here. This is a book that I've completed. It's another work of historical fiction, and it looks like it's going to end up in a drawer. Yes, in a drawer. I spent a year and a half working on this. I think it's the best thing I've written. It's very personal. It's very dark. And it's more of literary suspense. So I knew it would be a bit of a departure from the things I'd written before. But I didn't understand just how unsettling that would be for publishing professionals. So for a variety of reasons, many of them had to do with branding. This is not an Erica Roebuck book. It probably will not see the light of day, at least not for a really long time. And that has been a bitter pill for me to swallow. So all of these things sort of swirling around have been incredibly frustrating. And I certainly don't mean on a global life and death way, but professionally frustrating in addition to personally. And so I needed to take a mental break from all of it and to just take some time for myself to recharge. And so I got back outdoors more and started reading again more. Reading is, of course, my first love. And I started looking at articles and going on historic tours. And one day, I found something that was so interesting to me. So I bought a book about it. And then I read that book, and then I saw a video that used themes from it. And I thought, gosh, this would make such an interesting novel. And so I started sketching some ideas and eventually started writing again. And for about 3 weeks, I didn't think about publishing at all. I was completely immersed in the story. And then I came out blinking a couple of days ago and realized that I had 30 pages and an outline and a really exciting new premise. I've sent it off to my agent to see what she thinks, and on we go. I tell you all of this because over and over again with TED Talks, with different motivational speakers, you hear them say so often, remember why you started this. You know, when I was 7 years old, I wasn't thinking about my brand when I wrote about a court jester in a play on a piece of paper. When I was a high school teenager, I wasn't thinking about my brand when I wrote a song or a novel. I was always just thinking that I had a story that I needed to tell and thinking of the best way to tell the story and telling it. And here I am when I thought I was on a break from publishing and another book has started. So I tell you this, writers, number one, to let you know that it doesn't matter where you are in the process. I'm absolutely convinced, whether you don't even have an agent yet or you're a New York Times best-selling author, Every single book is a new learning experience, and every single time you're going to have to start over in one way or another. In a career, if that's what you're here for, and it should be what you're here for if you're trying to get into publishing, a career has hits and misses, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But never forget why you started. It's because you love this story. So, authors, I know there's a lot of you out there who have a book in a drawer. It's painful. I want to hear your stories about how you have made peace with that and what you've done to move on.